All right, what's going on, guys? Trey back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be a look back at Season 2 of The Walking Dead. I thought it'd be a good idea, since we just saw the season finale, to go ahead and look back at the season generally, not in too much detail, because I've done reviews for every episode of Season 2, in-depth reviews, very in-depth, some of them being 20, 25 minutes long even. So this one is going to be just sort of like a general review over Season 2, all of Season 2, giving my thoughts on it, episode by episode, talking about the highs and lows, that kind of stuff. And I'll try to keep it pretty short. It shouldn't be too long. So overall, I thought Season 2 was amazing. I'm going to do a video where I compare more in depth Season 1 versus Season 2. But I think that we can pretty much say, 13 episodes versus 6 episodes, Season 2 having 13. It's, it was a wonderful season. It was absolutely fantastic. And I think it was better than Season 1. I mean, a lot of things happened, and Season 1 sort of had that more compacted feel. Season 2 had a more drawn-out feel, but still so many things happened at the same time. And it kind of proves that even though, if you guys don't know, the budget for Season 1 was actually bigger than Season 2, and Season 1 was only 6 episodes, Season 2 was 13 episodes. So, even with a smaller budget, they were still able to do so much great stuff. So it kind of shows that, budget isn't everything. If you have really good writers that bring the show in a good direction and do some really interesting things with the show, then it can be really good, and you don't necessarily need to have a huge budget to do it. There are other clever ways you can think of to keep the budget down and still produce an amazing season of a show. So let's get started from the beginning of the season. We'll go through 13 episodes real quick and just takeaways from it. So I think that the season premiere of this season really set the tone well for the whole season. It was I thought it was amazing. The season premiere really got everybody amped for the show. The character's kind of lost now since the CDC has been blown up. Don't want to go back to their old spot because it's really, it's too close to the city. There's a lot of walkers and that kind of stuff. So they start to head outwards, so to speak, and then they get into that traffic jam on the highway. One of the most exciting scenes, and probably the most suspenseful scene of the whole season, is when they're kind of all hiding as the herd comes down the highway. You've got this huge herd of zombies, and they're all like under the cars, and they get into the cars. And then I remember from this episode, one of my favorite scenes is Andrea inside the RV, and her with the screwdriver killing that zombie. Definitely one of the best kills of the entire season, and very suspenseful. Like, you're sitting there and you're just like wow, like this is so. It's a pretty suspenseful and scary episode. Probably the most out of the whole season, because you're like, whoa, are they gonna, somebody gonna die? Are they gonna see, and no, they don't end up, pretty much everybody ends up getting away, but very exciting. And then, of course, the end of the episode where we get to see Carl get shot. So all in all, what lies ahead, the first premiere episode for Season 2, I thought was, amazing. An amazing episode, a great start to the season, just absolutely stupendous, setting the pace. Going on from there, the second episode, Bloodletting, we slow things down a bit. We get to see, just Carl injured. We meet Herschel on the farm. We meet the people on the farm, and and aside from that, some of the group starts to look for Sophia, since she's gone missing, of course. But I think that the whole Bloodletting episode was a decent episode. It's just that it was kind of like a settling down after the big premiere of the first episode. Going on from there, so Bloodletting was okay, but it was just a settling down from the first one, sort of setting us in the pace of a slower pace for the season. Save the last one, sticks out to me as one of the best episodes of the season. We get to see Shane start to go down that path of reckless abandon for humans' lives and people's lives. He just does what he needs to do to get Carl that medication by shooting Otis and leaving him there. I thought that was a nice twist in the episode when you got to see that, and then after, where he's shaving his head and he's kind of just looking at it, he's got the scratch and everything. That was very cool, and really, foreshadowing all the things that were to come with Shane this season. Because really, when you look at it, this season was all about, mainly, I want to say two things. One, the farm. Okay, it was about the farm and then living at the farm. And two, it was about Shane. Those are the two main themes of the season, I think. Well, Sophia, too, for the first half of the season. But that was dealt with before the break, and then after was, you know, they kind of tied it back in by showing the car, and they say, you know, and the message they left for her on the car. So that was pretty cool. So I'd say, yeah, I guess I could say three main themes of the season. You know, having Sophia there, um, Shane and, you know, Rick going at it. Basically, Shane's you know, story this season was a lot about Shane, and then the farm and everything that entailed about that. So going on from there, say the last one, an amazing episode. I thought it was a lot of fun. You know, seeing you know, Shane, you know, go down that route and shoot Otis and then leave him there. That was very, very cool to see. Going on from there, we had Cherokee Rose. This episode, episode 4 of season 2, was one of the probably this might be the worst episode of the season. It really might be, or one of them. I mean, not a lot happens in the episode. You know, there's some good character development there. And it really feels that episode really feels like a TV show. Some of The Walking Dead feels like a TV show, and some doesn't. Like the season premiere does not feel like a TV show. Pretty Much Dead Already does not feel like a TV show, which is episode 7. The finale does not feel like a TV show. Same with Better Angels, where Shane dies, does not feel like a TV show. Some of them do, some of them don't, and it's the pacing that's the difference. You know, movie pacing is a lot faster than TV show pacing. Generally, most of the time. And I think it's interesting how with The Walking Dead you get like a mixture of the two. And I'm always amazed by what they can do in the season finale and season premiere and some of the episodes with just like crazy exciting stuff and zombies, like tons of zombies, and how that doesn't blow the budget up. I mean, I guess zombies aren't that expensive. You pay Greg Nicotero to do the makeup. You get, like, I'd play a zombie for free. I'd volunteer, you know, take a vacation, play a zombie, you know. Who knows what they even pay the zombies? A couple $100, $100. Maybe they do it for free, just to be like, I'm in that show. You know, I would do it for free. So, so just saying that. Very cool. So yeah, but just amazing the quality of some of these episodes, TV quality, or I mean movie quality stuff. That episode right there, Cherokee Rose, was TV. It was lackluster. Not a lot happened. Maybe the worst episode of the season. Going on from there, Chupacabra, I thought was a very good episode. That's Daryl's episode where he gets, you know, stuck in the woods type thing looking for Sophia, and he has an encounter with a couple zombies, a couple walkers, and ends up making it back. And then my favorite part of that episode is where Andrea shoots him, but just grazes him, and he ends up, you know, making it out alive. I thought that was a very, very good episode. The pacing wasn't that fast, but it really felt like this is Daryl's episode, and that was really nice because Daryl's a fan favorite. If you guys like pretty much have talked to anybody out there, Daryl is a lot of people's favorite character in the whole show. So him getting his own episode with Chupacabra was a really, really cool episode. One second. Sorry. Okay, so going on from there, we had Daryl had his episode. Next episode, season 2, episode 6 was Secrets. This episode was similar to Cherokee Rose. Not a lot happened, but we got to see some cool stuff because in this episode we got to see Andrea and Shane go into the city there looking for Sophia, just trying to see, and some good zombie action, them running away, Andrea become badass, and then them hooking up at the end. So that episode to me, and also the thing with Laurie's pregnancy and all that, that to me was a really good episode. That was, you know, not a bad episode at all, and I think you can pretty much determine Cherokee Rose is probably the worst episode of the season. So Secrets was good. I liked it a lot. I like to see the city. I was every time, or the house is not really the city, but every time we get to see different environments in The Walking Dead, I think it's really cool. Cityscapes, awesome. I love to see cities and stuff like that. Gas stations, stuff, any of that stuff. I like to see different, you know, environments, and I think that's really a lot of fun when you get to see that. So I liked Secrets. I thought it was a good episode. Pretty Much Dead Already was an amazing episode. That was the mid-season finale, season 2, episode 7. Amazing. That's the one where Shane starts to lose his mind, and you know, rips open the barn. That was a great, great episode. And the moment where Sophia walks out of the barn was like, oh man, that was cool. So that was definitely one of the highlights of the season. Pretty Much Dead Already. Just absolutely amazing, amazing stuff. Then we come back after that. We had the break for a while, and then we had Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 8, Nebraska. Here's the one where you get to see Rick in the bar. The guys come in the bar, and, you know, two guys walk into a bar, and Rick shoots them both. It was just, that was a really exciting episode. The ending of that episode was really exciting, and some of the best stuff we've seen so far in The Walking Dead for sure. So Nebraska was a dope episode, and then going on from there, we get the gunfight, Triggerfinger. The next episode, they're trying to escape, leave the bar. Herschel becomes a little bit more badass, is using the gun, and or I should say a lot more badass using the gun and all that stuff. And then they get Randall. Triggerfinger was another great episode. You know, bring him back to the farm, and then it becomes the interesting question. And this is really interesting: is what do you do with him? You know, what do you do? What's the right thing to do with him? And I've done a lot of videos talking about this. What do you do with Randall? You know, should you kill him? Should you let him go? Like, it's really, really interesting stuff to think about that. Going on from there. So that was Triggerfinger, great episode. 18 Miles Out. 18 Miles Out was an episode that the first time I watched it, I didn't think it was that great. I thought it was good. I gave it a good score, but I didn't think it was like that special. But because later on Shane dies, that episode is extremely, extremely important because of what happens after. And I think that it's one of the best episodes of season 2, because we get to see, you know, Rick and Shane fight it out, and it's really the start of, well, not really the start, but the climax of when they're fighting and that kind of stuff, and all of the, you know, the tension between them, and the situations going on with Lori and Carl and all that stuff, and the baby come to, you know, a head, and you get to see a big fight between them. And also cool to see a new environment. You get to see that, you know, gate and the school or whatever that was, not school, I forget exactly what it was, some kind of works place, government works or something, place like that. But that was very cool. Shane throws it through the window, and then they come out, and you get to see Rick with a cool triple kill with the gun, and then the last one through the mouth. Shane's in the bus, and then he, you know, ends up getting out through the back. Thinks Rick's going to leave him. Rick doesn't leave him, and then they end up going back. One of the standout moments from that episode for me, now that Shane's dead, is the part where Shane's looking out in the field, and you see that lonely walker just walking down. And, you know, it kind of like symbolizes himself, how he feels different. And then you get the great theme song from Y Oak, I think it is, a Civilian. And that's an awesome theme. I just like listening to that theme song just whenever, you know. Makes me think of the show and Shane's character. It's very cool because, you know, that plays in the background when that happens. Go check it out on YouTube. WYE space Oak, O-A-K, Civilian. You can listen to it on YouTube. It's a great track, and it really fits the scene there, and sticks out to me as one of the best parts in Season 2. Going on from there, we got to see Judge, Jury, and Executioner. Man, like, pretty much once episode 7 aired, pretty much dead already, the rest of the season is just bananas. Every episode is just sick, man. Every episode after watching them, I was just blown away. I was like, wow, this is, you know, the best show ever. This is the coolest stuff I've ever seen. And I really think it is the best TV show ever. Best comic book ever, and just an amazing story, man. But anyway, let's get back to it. So we get to see the situation with Randall, you know, again, that interesting question. And to me, that's not really like a filler. That's an interesting question to me. I like to see that because it's like, okay, you've got this kid, he's helpless, he seems kind of harmless, you know, what do you do with him? You know, his group isn't, though. What do you do with him? And then, of course, we get to see the death of Dale, which was not planned, and probably I would like to still have Dale around, but what are you going to do? You know, over time in the show, actors are going to want out. They're not always going to want to play. You know, in 3-4 years, we'll see what happens. You know, we don't know how long the show's going to go for. I did a video talking about it, saying that it should probably go on a long time. But actors might cop out. You never know. Actors might say, you know what, it's been 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I've had enough. Kill me off, you know, and boom, there it goes. So Dale's character gone. Didn't like the Dale death, though. Thought it could have been done a lot better. But not a bad episode. I just, you know, that was kind of... It's still exciting, though. And it's something that people, you know, gets people excited about the show, gets people interested. So that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. And then, of course, Better Angels, episode 12, the death of Shane, the battle between Shane and Rick. Probably my favorite Walking Dead episode ever. Still is, yeah. Even after the season finale, even after looking back to the first season, Better Angels sticks out to me anyway as the best episode of The Walking Dead, or my favorite episode of The Walking Dead. I mean, obviously, the season finale was amazing, too, where they just, like, abandon ship and just leave the farm. But, you know, seeing that final Shane versus Rick moment come down and everything that came into it from the first and second season, and just to have it resolved, for me was like the show can end now and I'm satisfied. I don't even care, you know, because that whole arc storyline of Shane and Lori and Carl and Rick, that whole arc, you know, is resolved at that episode. So Better Angels is my favorite episode of the series, no question about it. And then finishing it up beside the Dying Fire, the season finale. Man, could you ask for a better season finale? Getting to see the great opening with the herd and how they form it, just amazing. Sort of like a montage of the herd forming and you know, coming towards the farm. Everybody just leaving, you know, abandoned. Just get out, you know, just run, get in the cars, run. You know, I like the fact that Herschel survived. I like that a lot. I like the characters that have survived. I wish Dale would have survived, but what are you going to do? Because the actor, you know, so. Shane also, I would have liked to have seen him survive. But the thing about it is, too, though, is as much as I would have liked to see Shane survive, it does a couple things to the show that are not good. Number one, they have to pay another actor, so the budget is going to go up because they have to pay somebody, right? And I don't know how much John Berthol's salary is, but they would have to pay him, and that hurts the budget, right? They could use that money for other things and, you know, bring in new characters and that kind of stuff. The second thing, too, is that it was outstanding for a while. It was an issue that was outstanding within the group for a long time and just had to be dealt with at some point or another. Also, in order to keep the budget down and not have these huge, you know, high-flying action zombie sequences, another way to do it, which is really cheap, is just to get the characters turned on each other. Then you don't have to bring in other actors. You don't have to bring in tons of zombies. Just have them turn on each other. And that's great storytelling. It's exciting. It's fantastic. Having a character death is amazing. You know, in terms of, you know, people being like the shock factor and people just be like, whoa, you know, makes the show feel, you know, everything's more dangerous after that, you know. And then the next episode, and besides Dying Fire, we get to see, you know, like Jimmy die and Patricia die too. So just, you know, wow, man, what a great season. Ended it on a high note and really set us up for the next season starting in this fall, probably in October for season 3. Season 2 was amazing, man. It was like season 1 was really good too, but wow, season 2 was just really something crazy. I can't wait till they release the Blu-ray. I'm definitely going to buy it on Blu-ray. Watch the whole thing over again like 5 times probably. Can't wait to see on the special features if there are added scenes, because there are scenes that were shown in the commercials that were never in the show. There's one in particular. Shane's got hair, so he hasn't shaved his head yet. So it's before, say, the last one where he shaves his head, and he's running away in like a city thing on like a highway, I think, or like a road, and there's all like an army of zombies chasing him. And he's shooting his shotgun, and I think he hurts his ankle and he falls down or something. This was shown at the beginning of the season. You can probably find it on YouTube. It's probably still up, and it was never used in the season at all. And obviously they couldn't use it after because his head was shaved, or I mean, yeah, he shaved his head, so they couldn't use it. Apparently, it's a deleted episode where they go back into the city to try to find that other group that they were with originally in the episode Vatos from season 1. Remember the group they met at the retirement home? The Mexican, I believe they were? Yeah, those guys. And apparently they were overrun and they're all dead. And that episode got axed. It was basically deleted. And I'd like to see if they put that on the Blu-ray, because there's a lot of scenes, even if they don't like, even if they just say deleted scenes and just throw all the scenes on there, not in any order or anything, or just have like, you know, somebody from the show talk about it, like what they were going to do and why they didn't use it. I thought that'd be exciting and interesting. So to review it, highlights of season 2 for me, the season premiere was amazing with the herd on the highway. Carl getting shot was a highlight. Going on from there, save the last one, Shane shooting Otis in the leg, huge highlight. Going on from there, skip a couple episodes, you know, good character development, but nothing crazy happening. And then seeing Sophia in the barn, Shane starting to lose it a little bit, pretty much dead already. Another highlight, crazy highlight. Going on from there, Rick shooting the guys in the bar, huge highlight. Randall coming back, Shane killing Randall. Rick and Shane's fight, another highlight. And then finally, the scene where Shane stabbed Rick. Huge. The highlight of the season for me. The highlight of the season for me. Shane stabs Rick. Or sorry. That's how you know that's how I know I've been talking for too long, is when I start messing up like that. Rick stabs Shane. The highlight of the season, in my opinion. And then the finale. Who could ask for a better finale? Season 2 for me, as a whole, as a season, gets a 10 out of 10. They exceeded my expectations. They did even more than I could have thought they could have done. Like after season 1, I didn't think it was possible to do something like this. What they were able to accomplish in season 2, even without Frank Darabont or with him for part of it, it's astounding to me. It's definitely the best TV show ever, and the best season of a TV show I've ever seen. Be crazy to see how season 3 is, and if it lives up to season 2, if it's as good as season 2. I mean, we'll have to see. You can almost think it'll only get better from here, but to me, even still in the comic books, when I look back, Shane is such an important character because he's Rick's tie into his old career and his old life. I mean, he does have his family too, which is sort of a tie-in, but Shane was his best friend. Shane was his co-worker, his partner. To see all that come to fruition and end in the way it did, I wouldn't be upset if The Walking Dead got canceled right now and that was all we had, because I felt like they've already done the comic book justice, and from here on out, it's all gravy. It's all gravy, baby. Later, guys. Peace.